Happy 4th of July, y'all. Woo, another hot day here. I've been sweating like a chain smoker in a fireworks factory. You betcha I have. It's been that hot, that kind of day, that kind of week. Yep, and it's only gonna get better. Happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. What a wonderful time of the year to celebrate our wonderful country. So because I'm that history buff, I thought it would be a fun thing to do to take a look at some of the interesting and unique things that our country has done to celebrate the 4th of July in the past, going all the way back to the 1800s and some floats. Also, I looked up some fun facts and thought we'd have a little fun with that. And who knows what else we're going to talk about and what we'll see. I hope you enjoy it because it's so interesting. I love the history of our country and I love seeing what we've done to celebrate our 4th of July. Let's kick it off with some fun facts in no particular order. Let's start with John Adams, an interesting man. He believed that we should have been celebrating our Independence Day on July 2nd, that was the correct date, not the 4th. And he reportedly turned down invitations to appear at any July 4th events in protest of that date. And speaking of Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4th, 1826, the 50th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. Very interesting and fascinating fact to me. George Washington issued double rations of rum to all the soldiers to mark the anniversary of Independence Day in 1778 and in 1781. Massachusetts became the first state to make July 4th an official state holiday. In 1870, the U.S. Congress made July 4th a federal holiday. Did you know the average age of the signers of the Declaration of Independence was 45 years? Of the 56 signers, the youngest was Thomas Lynch Jr. and Edward Rutledge. They were both 26 years old. And Benjamin Franklin was the oldest at age 70 years old. On the second anniversary of Independence Day in 1778, American troops were fighting the American Revolutionary War. Every year on July 4th, descendants of the Declaration of Independence signers tap the Liberty Bell 13 times. This tradition was created as a way to honor the original 13 colonies. A time capsule was buried by Paul Revere and Sam Adams. On July 4th, 1795, the two men placed the capsule under the Massachusetts State House in Boston. It was discovered more than 2 centuries later by workers fixing a leak. When state officials opened it, they found a pine tree shilling coin, a copper medal engraved with an image of George Washington, several newspapers, and a silver plate thought to be engraved by Paul Revere. How cool is that? So on July 4th, 1776, John Adams and his wife Abigail sat down for a celebratory meal, and this is, as rumor has it, of turtle soup, New England poached salmon with egg sauce, green peas, and boiled potatoes. How's that for a barbecue? In 1776, the population of the United States was 2.5 million. And that is compared to today with about 340 million Americans. The Pennsylvania Evening Post was the first newspaper to print the Declaration. A printer named John Dunlap produced copies of the manuscript. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson believed that a new constitution should be written every 19 years? In a letter he wrote to James Madison, he asked if one generation of men has the right to bind another, saying that otherwise the lands would belong to the dead and not to the living, which would be the reverse of our principle. Very interesting. Well, that does it for this episode of Fun Historical Facts. And let me leave you with, what am I watching today? Today I am watching The Monuments Men. It's a great movie with a lot of well-known actors: Bill Murray, George Clooney, Matt Damon, Cate Blanchett, John Goodman. It's based off of a true story in World War II, where these over-the-hill art scholars and historians are sent over to Europe to try to find artwork that the Nazis have stolen. I will leave it with that. Give it a try if you've never seen it. It's pretty good. Until then, have a great 4th of July. Until next time.